Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. I am the American SpyFox, and today we are going to switch gears. We are going to talk about a trending topic, something that I don't believe I've ever done before. No love lost. Courtney Love hopes Jeffrey Epstein, quote unquote, burns in hell and can't explain why she's in his black book as she never met him. Interesting. Courtney Love has taken to Twitter once again to defend herself. The disgraced financier's so-called little black book emerged after it was found by the FBI and subsequently leaked. Here is a photo of Courtney Love standing right next to Prince Andrew, an accused co-conspirator of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Courtney has always, even since the early 90s, in order to appeal to the UK public, has always been into tea. It's actually quite insulting. If you're British, you should be insulted because Courtney is stereotyping you. Look at this. She's posing with Prince Andrew, holding a f***ing teapot. She's saying, look at me, I'm one of you. I know you guys like tea. I like tea too. If you watch her early 90s interviews with Kurt Loder on MTV, she's always holding a little tiny teacup, drinking tea. Courtney was loved. A lot of Americans don't know this, but Courtney was very much appreciated and loved and taken for what she was in the UK, in the UK underground. In America, she was hated. But the British loved her, and she stereotyped the fuck out of you guys, and apparently carried a teapot around. Now, Courtney says she never met Epstein, but here she is standing next to Prince Andrew, and according to her friends, Epstein is the one who introduced Prince Andrew to Courtney. This is Courtney's side of the story on how she meets Prince Andrew. Courtney Love, quote, I was in bed when the doorbell rang at 1 a.m. I put on my fluffy slippers and a dressing gown, and the Queen's second son was standing there with a protection officer, totally unannounced. He said he had got my address from a mutual friend and was looking to have a fun night in Hollywood, and apparently I could show him a good time. We sat down on the sofa by the fire, and that is when he got quite flirtatious. In the end, he only stayed for around 45 minutes. All the things that have happened in my life, this truly is one of the most surreal things, and that is saying something. Really? The Queen's second son shows up at your door unannounced at 1 in the morning, and you don't say, how in the f*** did you know where I live? Who in the f*** sent you? What are you doing here at 1 in the morning? And completely freak out. You just invite him in for tea and a picture with your teapot while sitting by the fire, which is quite romantic, might I add. If you're sitting by a fire with a woman at 1 in the morning who has just allowed you in her home when you've showed up unannounced, what's that called, ladies and gentlemen? That's called a booty call. But Courtney says nothing happened. They sat, they had a cup of tea. He left. Sounds like a good night on the town in Hollywood to me. Clearly, he did not show up unannounced. Clearly, she was expecting him. Clearly, she does not want to tell us that she knows, she knew, because that creepy ass mother is dead now, murdered in his jail cell. And oh, by the way, guys, the same world-renowned pathologist, Dr. Cyril Wecht, who you see in Soaked in Bleach, who talks about all the inconsistencies with the Kurt Cobain autopsy and that whole murder theory, he also reviewed the autopsy of Jeffrey Epstein and declared that there's no way Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. Dr. Cyril Wecht is in an interview saying, I looked at the neck vertebrae and the fractures are consistent with strangulation, not with someone leaning forward trying to hang themselves. She knew Jeffrey Epstein. He introduced her to Prince Andrew. Now, what else do we know about Courtney? We know that Courtney likes to procure minors. In the late 80s, early 90s, she took at least 2 minors under her wing. Jessica Hopper and Michael Callie DeWitt, both of whom were staying in Kurt Cobain's house when he ended up dead, and claim that they never heard a shotgun blast. The night before Kurt is projected to have taken his own life, Jessica Hopper claims she heard footsteps, got out of bed, but didn't bother to go and look or ask who was in the house and just assumed it was Kurt. Jessica claimed that it was too cold in the house and she was sick, so she got back in bed. She heard footsteps, but she didn't hear a shotgun blast. Courtney is already known for taking minors under her wing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call Hank Harrison, Courtney Love's father, and we're going to ask him what he knows about this, if anything. Because as we know, Jeffrey Epstein was very, very rich and he was very well connected. And what is the one thing that Courtney Love cherishes the most? Power, fame, that social ladder that she has climbed so well by any means necessary. Jeffrey Epstein could get her into circles that Courtney was not allowed in previously. Respected circles. Not just rock and roll circles, but billionaires who run the world kind of circles. Is it possible Courtney was helping to procure people for Jeffrey Epstein and supposedly, possibly, maybe even Prince Andrew? I'm not accusing, I'm merely posing a question. Is it possible that when Courtney saw shit hitting the fan, that she tried to explain away her relationship with these people by saying, it wasn't my fault, I had nothing to do with it, this guy just randomly shows up at my house? Because that's what princes of foreign countries do, right? They just randomly show up at someone's house they've never met before. Courtney would like us to believe this. Let's see what her father, Hank Harrison, has to say about it. Hey, Mr. Harrison, it's very nice to meet you, and well, kind of meet you and talk to you for the first time. I basically was going to let you do your thing and say whatever you want to say. I did have a few questions. Whether you want to answer them or not is obviously up to you. I just wanted to ask you when. I was hoping to do it today, and I was wondering if you would be available today.
Sure, yeah, but just remember, you see me now, right? So you can keep it on here. It's just fine with me. But you understand I'm not Tom Grant.
I hope you're not Tom Grant.
You never know, man. The guy has many disguises.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I know that he has many disguises, and I've tried. I exposed him to a lot of people, but there are still a lot of people who think he's like great. You know what I mean?
Well, he has a charming side to him. Yeah, he can be diplomatic when he wants to, but see, what bothers him, as does all investigators, is when you clearly see through them and you let them know. The biggest mistake you can make with an investigator is letting them know that you see through their scam.
That's what, you know what? That's exactly what my wife said to me. She said, Tom realized that you saw him for what he was. And that's when he turned on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he has an angry side when he realizes he's a failure. He hood-swanked Courtney pretty well. He had her all fooled, or she pretended to have him think. She's so clever that sometimes I think Courtney Love, sometimes I think she can double think it or triple think it all the way through.
You have a very, very, I have to say, you have a very clever, very intelligent daughter.
Oh, yeah.
I think people think that I like hate her or something. I don't even know her. You can't hate someone you don't know.
Yeah, no, it's bad for you to do that.
Right.
It's bad for the heart. It's bad for your heart. Yeah, and I'm an old psychologist, and that's what I tell people. So, yeah, don't hate anybody, man.
I just want to understand her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to know what the hell is going on with this Epstein thing.
Oh, I know about that.
Somebody just messaged me and said that Courtney was on Twitter. Apparently, she was in Epstein's Black Book or something.
She was.
So, to no fault of her own?
Well, no, on purpose, no doubt.
I mean, do you think she met him, or do you think he's just a creep who had her information?
Oh no, man. Oh, boy, you really don't know Courtney, do you?
I'm just getting caught up on this subject.
All right, Courtney's a hustler. If her face is on something, or her body imprint, or her signature, or her name appears in a list, she did it on purpose. It's there. She doesn't do anything by accident. Hardly.
That's
Part of her high IQ is to keep her going with that.
the impression I get from Courtney is she is her own best promoter. She knows how to work
Absolutely.
the press.
That's
You know,
right.
how about this, Hank? Do you mind? And I'll do it immediately. Could I go ahead and email you those questions so you're prepared, and then you tell me
No,
when you
don't even just ask me. I'm okay. Just ask me questions. It's okay.
Okay, well,
I want to get the camera right, and the lighting right, and everything. So
see, I can't record. I can't record with my phone. I'm sitting in front of my webcam, recording myself talking to you,
okay.
and I need to set it up to where I can also record you, which will take me a few minutes, and I need to comb my hair and stuff too. So I was wondering if I could.
Ben, call me back.
Yeah, it won't take very long.
I'll hang up.
It won't take very long. I'll
hang up.
yes, sir.
Huh?
It won't take me very long to call you back.
Yeah, the audio is fading in and out.
Okay, well, I need to take care of that then.
Okay.
I'm
Call me
gonna
back.
I'm gonna call you through Facebook, but I'm gonna use my computer.
Sure, whatever. But I'll be here.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Bye bye. So as you now understand, that was just simply an initial phone conversation between Mr. Harrison and I. We had been exchanging messages, but really hadn't had the chance to speak to each other face to face. I kind of felt like that was the first time I met him. I was just getting a grasp on what kind of person he is. And actually, he's a pretty intelligent guy. I think some people come down on him for coming down on his daughter, but once you listen to him and understand his point of view, he comes off more like a concerned father to me than someone who's just exploiting their daughter. And I hope to have a full-length interview with Mr. Harrison, whether it be through Facebook video chat or a Zoom meeting. If you'd like to see that, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. Look forward to that in the near future, while Hank and I work out the details and exactly what all we will talk about. The main purpose of this video was I wanted you guys to hear it for yourself. Mr. Harrison knows for a fact that Courtney Love met Jeffrey Epstein. And if Courtney Love's name is in anything, she did it on purpose. You heard it from her dad. It's on purpose. She did it for a reason. Now, maybe this backfired. Maybe the shit hit the fan and Courtney said, ugh, I need a quick exit. Well, Prince Andrew just showed up at my fucking house, because Prince Andrew would just randomly show up at someone's house that he'd never met before. Think about it.